Good afternoon from State Adventures. Carolina Gilcapi here. I would love to help you plan a trip this summer to Peru. I have put together some ideas for your party of four, so let's jump on the PDF, and that way you'll be able to see exactly what my ideas were for you. So you mentioned July 4th as your departure. Of course, this can change anytime. Our tours are privately curated around your dates, so you can choose any date of the year. But July 4th is a perfect time to start. This is peak season in Peru. This is dry season in Peru. It's winter, which means it's the perfect time for any outdoor activities and hiking. So you are definitely traveling during a wonderful time to explore this fabulous little country. So on July 4th, you're going to arrive in Lima. That's the international airport. I've put here that you're flying in from Santiago, but of course you can fly in from anywhere that you'd like. We will pick you up at the airport, State Adventures private team with a sign with your name on it, and we will take you in a private car to your hotel. And all the hotels on this itinerary I handpicked for you because I have been to Peru many times. My team investigates and inspects hotels every year. So we have some that are our favorites, but of course, let me know, oh, I would actually like to be here, or I've heard of this property, and we will tweak the trip together because it is your trip and I want to make sure every detail is something that excites you about visiting. So Iberostar Miraflores is a really modern new hotel overlooking the ocean, great rooftop. You can walk to the Lovers Park. You can walk to Larcomar Shopping Center. It's in the hub of everything. So I really enjoyed staying here just a few months ago in 2023. So I highly suggest it, and we would have two rooms for you. You let me know, do you want king beds? Do you want two beds in the room? Whatever it is, we will adjust it. And then on July 5th, after you wake up, have breakfast at the hotel, which is those BLD. Those are the meals that are included on the itinerary for you. If something's not listed on there, it means that it's easy enough to arrange on your own, or our guides can give you some advice. I don't like to include all your meals because I want you to have some spontaneous experiences, some chance to kind of either enjoy the restaurant at your hotel or take some advice from a guide and go to a top restaurant in the city, and so on. So after breakfast, we'll pick you up and show you the best of Lima. And the way we do that is we try to make this trip a little bit different because Lima is the culinary heart of South America. It has some of the best restaurants in the country. So what we do is we show you the highlights of Lima, but we will also make sure we are tasting things along the way. So we're going to have a visit to the local ruins, but we're going to have snacks there. And we're going to go to the waterfront, but we will make pisco sours there, and so on and so on. There's going to be a really nice combination of seeing the highlights, going to Old Town, but also visiting places where local Lima residents visit, and just getting a sense of walking around the colorful neighborhoods. So it's a great city. We'll leave you full for sure, but if you would like dinner reservations, I can arrange some for you. And then July 6th, after waking up, having breakfast, we'll take you to the airport. And now we're going to go to Cuzco. It's just an hour flight and you're going to arrive in high altitude. So what we like to do is whisk you right away from Cuzco to Sacred Valley. This is 2,000 feet lower. You're going to breathe easier. You're going to walk easier. So it's definitely a good place to acclimate for 48 hours. So we're going to spend 2 nights in the beautiful Sacred Valley, which is filled with Incan laboratories and sites and ruins and indigenous villages. Lots to see and do in the valley while we acclimate. So that first day after our flight, we pick you up and we show you some sites like these Moras Morai laboratories and the salt farms. And then we're going to have a beautiful lunch at Iskay Maras, which is a farm-to-table experience before we go and rest at our hotel, which is the Inca Terra is what I chose for you. I love this colorful little property. It is just smack in the middle of the valley, beautiful views, beautiful touches all throughout. Inca Terra is a Peruvian chain, so they know what they're doing. It's a great place to relax for 2 nights. So we're going to have dinner there. We're going to arrange it for you because you're kind of in the countryside. You're in the middle of nowhere. And then on July 7th, we're going to go out again and explore more ruins, more markets and indigenous communities. We're going to go and have Pachamanca ceremony, which is a very traditional way to cook lunch underneath the ground with a local village. fantastically done. I think you're going to have a lot of fun. And of course, seeing some ruins and markets along the way as well. This will help us acclimate and feel better because July 8th is our day to see Machu Picchu. So we'll pick you up, take you to the train station. We're going to help you arrange all the luggage needs because the Machu Picchu train will only allow a few bags, and the rest of the bags will go to Cusco with our guide, and our local guide, an expert of Machu Picchu, will pick you up and take you right to the ruins because we also have porters at the train station to help you carry your bags. These are all these behind the scenes logistics that we take care of so you don't have to worry about. Because when you get off that train, which is a beautiful train, glass dome ceiling, beautiful views, they serve snacks, there's live music on board. Once you get to Machu Picchu, there's like 500 people arriving and it's very chaotic. So we are there with a sign with your name on it, with a porter to take your bags. So you don't have to worry about going to a hotel or checking in or out. You are going straight to the ruins with your guide. That way you can really enjoy the site without stress, then have free time for lunch, checking into your hotel and resting. So the hotel that I chose here is El Mapi. I really like this little boutique property. It's right in the middle of town, very close to the shuttle that takes you up and down to the ruins. It has a great spa center, has a nice little bar, and they serve dinner. So we're going to have that included for you as well. I like being close to the shuttle because the next morning you wake up and we're going back to the ruins for our sunrise climb. So Machu Picchu is, a massive citadel, and not everybody stays the night. So a lot of people will leave on the evening train, but you are staying. So in the morning, you're going to get up with a lot less people, go up at sunrise, and you can hike. You can climb Huayna Picchu, which is that famous peak in all the photos. If you want to just have a soft hike, we can go to Uchuy Picchu, which is a much smaller mountain. Lots of options. We're going to organize a beautiful buffet lunch at the Sanctuary Lodge. It's a kind of famous lunch to have here before going back to the village and getting on our train to Cusco. It's a 2.5 to 3 hour train ride. And finally, we are arriving in the city of Cusco, where we will stay for 3 nights. So the first night we're arriving, Casa Andina Premium, great property. One of the times that I traveled with my family and my parents, like 3 generations of us, we stayed at this property. Every room is different. There's a lot of charm and character. All these old, it was like an old mansion that was redone into a hotel. So great property, well located, just a few steps from the main square. So great place to be in Cusco. So then the next 2 days, we're going to focus on seeing the best of Cusco, as well as going to Rainbow Mountain. So July 10th. Sleep in because we're not going to wake you up again in the morning after that sunrise hike. And we're going to have an afternoon tour of Cusco. So we'll go to the UNESCO sites. We'll go to the cathedral and the Coricancha temple. We'll go to Sacsayhuaman ruins. We'll do everything. Plus, we like to have a little bit of tasting around Cusco as well, where you're going to taste some cocktails or mocktails. We can have some snacks instead. The whole idea is to get you kind of acquainted with the food of Cusco, which is a little bit different than anywhere else in Peru. So great little day of resting and exploring. And then the next day, July 11th, we will take you to Rainbow Mountain. So just to tell you a little bit more about Rainbow Mountain, there is Vinicunca, which is the Rainbow Mountain that you might have heard about on social media and seen photos of it with lots of llamas and lots and lots and lots of people on it. And then there's Palcoyo Mountain, which is a valley of colorful mountains, and this one is it. So just 2 years ago, I went and I hiked both of them back to back so that I could get a different prospect of, what they feel like. And Vinicunca, which is the original Rainbow Mountain, was a lot tougher. It was a longer hike. It was a little bit higher, so it felt colder. It was even sleeting up there. And there was absolutely hundreds and hundreds of people there. So it did not feel magical when you are walking with, thousands of people going up to the same place. That said, it is gorgeous. The views everywhere you look were spectacular. Now, when I went to Palcoyo, it was my husband and me and my guide and no one else, just a llama or an alpaca here or there. And the hike was very flat, so it was very easy. We went at our own pace. And instead of hiking up, you're actually doing a very slow ascent. And then there's a hike up if you want to do the stone forest. So there's lots to see and do, different kind of peaks and things. And everywhere, every 10, 15 minutes, it's a different scenery because there are 7 mountains or so. So we can discuss if you want a challenge and if you want to go to the famous one, or if you want something easier like this, or if you want something completely different. This is your 3rd day in Cusco. If you want to just sleep in and go to the spa, we could do that too. And July 12th, we are leaving Cusco and we're going to Lake Titicaca. So I planned the trip so that you could fall on a day that the train operates, because this train is absolute magic. It's an 8-hour train ride, but it is so beautiful. It is the one time that you're not expected to do anything but enjoy. There's a gourmet lunch served on board. You stop one time at a little market and can get off. And then the end of the train is completely open. So you can sit out there and just be in fresh air. It's a wonderful experience. And once you get to the Lake Titicaca, we will take you to the Lago Titicaca Hotel, which is right on the lake. It has its own port, beautiful location, beautiful views, and we will be there for 3 nights. So the first day is arrival. The second day is we're going to explore Lake Titicaca, the reason why we're here, and we're going to go to Uros, which is floating islands and a tribe that lives on there, completely different from Incas and anything else in the Cusco region. And then we'll go to Taquile, which is a stationary island. And that one is really interesting because the roles are reversed. So the men are weaving and the women are doing farm work. So it's very interesting. We'll have lunch on the lake. Your private guide comes along with you everywhere. And just to reiterate, every trip that I've mentioned so far, every excursion is with your private guide, private driver. The only time that you're with other people is when you're on a train or on a shuttle to the ruins of Machu Picchu. Everything else is with your private guides for the 4 of you. So I just want to really make you understand those logistics, because that means you're not waiting on anyone. You're going at your own pace. If you're walking by and you see a really interesting store or museum or stop, you can go right in and adjust the itinerary that way. Or if you're spending too much time in a museum or a cathedral and you're kind of tired of that and you want to move on, we do that because it is your trip. So just keep that in mind. It is very different than joining a group. And then on July 14th, it's your last day in Peru. We're going to show you some other sites, less visited sites in Lake Titicaca, like the Sulustani necropolis. There is a tribe of people that live near this necropolis, so you're going to be able to see their culture, as well as have lunch, as well as see the sites, and then enjoy the hotel. So you can go to the spa, or maybe we can sleep in and just do an afternoon tour. Up to you. You let us know how you feel. This is the highest altitude that you will be in Peru. So you're definitely going to feel like you're moving slower than anywhere else. It's a fabulous place. And then July 15th, we'll take you to the Juliaca airport. It's about an hour away from your hotel. And we will fly you to Lima, and you will continue back home, or Santiago, or wherever it is that you're coming. And that is your 12-day in Machu Picchu, or a 12-day in Peru. It is very easy to arrange it this way. There's a lot of thought put into this routing so that you can acclimate slowly and so that you can see the sites. And you can have some days where you're just there for 1 night to see ruins, but then there's other nights where you're there for 3 days, so you can really relax, unpack, and really feel like you're going to get to know the city like Cusco. So let me know your thoughts. This is a trip for 4 people. Everything on the itinerary is included. It's $58.99 per person based on 2 rooms with 4 people. So I'm excited to hear your thoughts. You know how to find me. Happy travels.